Picture this. A Formula One icon, fresh off a podium, steps onto the world's most unforgiving racetrack in a car he's never raced competitively. According to race reports from the 9th round of the NLS series at the Nürburgring, Max Verstappen didn't just race in his GT3 debut, he obliterated seasoned veterans, building a 65-second lead that defies logic. How does a rookie rewrite history at the Nordschleife? The Nürburgring Nordschleife is motorsport's ultimate crucible, spanning 20.8 kilometers with 154 turns, massive elevation changes, and virtually no margin for error. It's a track that humbles even the most experienced drivers. Race reports set the scene vividly. The morning of the 9th NLS round was classic Nürburgring chaos. Fog blanketed the circuit, delaying qualifying by 30 minutes and leaving a wet, green track surface. Slippery, unpredictable, and punishing for newcomers. These conditions are where Nordschleife specialists thrive, leaning on years of hard-earned track knowledge to navigate blind corners and treacherous elevation shifts. For Max Verstappen, a four-time F1 world champion making his GT3 debut in the Nürburgring 31 Ferrari, this was supposed to be a learning experience, a chance to dip his toes into a new discipline. But what happened next turned that narrative upside down. On his very first competitive lap, his first flying lap ever in a GT3 car on the Nordschleife, Verstappen posted an astonishing 8:46.6. According to the race reports, this was 24 seconds faster than the next closest driver. Let that sink in. 24 seconds on a track where a single second's advantage is a triumph. But Verstappen wasn't done. On his second push lap, with intermediate tires still gripping the damp surface, he found another 9 seconds, clocking an 8:37.818. This wasn't just a respectable debut, it was a statement that sent shockwaves through the paddock. As the track began to dry and drivers switched to slick tires, Verstappen faced a formidable challenge. Nürburgring veterans like Christian Krognes, the current GT3 lap record holder, and Frank Stippler, a driver with decades of Nordschleife experience. The stage was set for experience to assert dominance, but the data tells a different story. It's easy to assume Verstappen's F1 mastery was the key. After all, he's conquered circuits like Monaco, Spa, and Suzuka, navigating high-speed corners and split-second decisions with surgical precision. Surely, his single-seater skills translated seamlessly to GT3 racing, right? Not so fast. Race reports underscore the Nordschleife's unique demands. Its 154 turns include blind apexes, unpredictable surface changes, and elevation shifts that can unsettle even the most seasoned drivers. Unlike F1 tracks, which are typically 5 to 7 kilometers with wide runoffs, the Nordschleife's 20.8 kilometers offer no forgiveness. A single mistake can end your race, or worse. Even elite F1 drivers need years to master its complexities. Yet Verstappen was performing like a veteran from the outset. In the final 20 minutes of qualifying, the battle intensified as slick tires unlocked faster times. Krognes, leveraging his intimate knowledge of every curb, braking point, and elevation change, set the benchmark for pole. Verstappen, however, was relentless. Race reports highlight his brilliance in sectors 1 and 4, the most technical stretches of the circuit, where precision and bravery are non-negotiable. He posted the absolute fastest times in these sectors, showcasing an uncanny ability to adapt to the Nordschleife's demands. His final flying lap clocked an 8:09.12, briefly securing provisional pole. But traffic in Sector 3, a notorious bottleneck, cost him valuable time. Krognes crossed the line seconds later with an 8:06.0, 3 seconds quicker. Stippler edged Verstappen for second by just 1.1 seconds. Pause and consider this. A GT3 rookie, on his first attempt at the world's toughest track, qualified within 3 seconds of the lap record holder and a Nordschleife legend. That's not just impressive, it's almost otherworldly. But there's more to this story. The race was where Verstappen's true genius emerged. The race began with a nearly 20-minute formation lap, a Nürburgring staple due to the track's sprawling layout. Starting second in the Oser 31 Ferrari, Verstappen wasted no time. Race reports describe a textbook start, slipstreaming pole sitter Krognes before executing a breathtaking outside pass into turn 1. A move so bold it echoed his F1 audacity, but was perfectly tailored to the heavier, less agile GT3 car. By the end of the opening lap, he led by 1.4 seconds, leaving Stippler in his dust. According to the reports, this was likely the last time Stippler saw Verstappen for the entire race. What unfolded over the next 4 laps defied all expectations for a debutante. By lap 5, Verstappen's lead ballooned to 16.7 seconds, and he set the race's fastest lap, a staggering 7:51.514. To put this in perspective, race reports note this was faster than any pole time in the 2025 NLS season and just seconds off the outright GT3 lap record. Commentators were floored, repeatedly pointing out that his pace resembled that of a Nordschleife veteran with decades of experience, not a first-timer feeling his way. By his first pit stop on lap 7, his lead was 23 seconds, an insurmountable gap for most. But Verstappen's second stint was even more relentless. Over 15 laps, spanning 2 hours and 5 minutes, he averaged an 8:01.245 lap time, consistently pulling away from Stippler for 12 consecutive laps. By the time he handed the car to teammate Chris Lolum on lap 15, the lead was a colossal 65.6 seconds. The numbers are almost unbelievable. His fastest lap was 4.5 seconds quicker than his nearest rival, and he built a gap so massive, it redefined what a debut performance could be. The race reports highlight another layer of brilliance: Verstappen's adaptability. The Nordschleife's conditions shifted throughout the race, with early damp patches giving way to a drying line. His ability to optimize intermediate tires early and then extract maximum grip from slicks showcased a level of track awareness that stunned observers. This wasn't tentative, cautious driving, it was pure, unrelenting dominance. This wasn't just a victory, it was a seismic event in motorsport. The race report details Lulum's stint, which added another dimension to the story. Lulham, a 22-year-old former sim racer also making his GT3 debut, inherited that 65.6-second lead. But the Nordschleife is merciless. Multiple yellow flags and slow zones disrupted his rhythm, reducing the gap to 54 seconds by lap 23, with 45 minutes remaining. Despite traffic and incidents, Lulum drove what race reports call a very composed stint, bringing the NASCAR 31 Ferrari home with a final margin of 24.4 seconds. That victory margin, while still dominant, was built entirely on Verstappen's foundation. Without his extraordinary pace, the lead would never have been so comfortable. The timing of this performance is significant. Just 1 week earlier, Verstappen stood on the F1 podium in Azerbaijan, celebrating another victory in his hunt for a 5th world championship. 7 days later, he was on a different podium, having conquered an entirely new discipline at the world's toughest circuit. The race report notes Lulum's sim racing background, a detail that underscores the modern pathway into motorsport. But it also amplifies Verstappen's achievement. Sim racing can prepare you for lines and braking points, but nothing replicates the physical and mental demands of the Nordschleife's 154 turns at competitive pace. For Verstappen to dominate so effortlessly suggests a level of adaptability that transcends categories. The stakes are massive. With the Singapore Grand Prix approaching, Verstappen is laser-focused on F1. But this GT3 triumph raises the stakes for his legacy. The race report poses a critical question. What's next for the F1 champion? If he can master the Nordschleife on his first attempt, what's stopping him from dominating endurance racing like Le Mans, the 24 Hours of Daytona, or even venturing into rally? The pattern suggests his skills are limitless, and teams across motorsport disciplines will be taking note. Could Verstappen become the first driver to dominate multiple categories simultaneously? This performance could redefine how we view elite talent, showing that true greatness knows no boundaries. The evidence points to one burning question: just how far can Max Verstappen's talent stretch? The race report wonders what's next for the F1 champion, and it's a puzzle that demands exploration. If he can gap Nürburgring veterans by over a minute in his GT3 debut, what other records could he shatter? Will he return to GT3, chasing Krogna's lap record or targeting endurance classics? Could he tackle Le Mans, where precision and stamina are paramount, or even rally, where adaptability is everything? And what does this say about the future of motorsport, where sim racing, like Lulham's path, meets raw talent to challenge traditional experience? The race report hints this might be the first of many GT3 wins, but the bigger question is whether Verstappen's abilities could redefine the sport itself. Keep your eyes on Singapore this weekend. It's a clue to Verstappen's next chapter. What do you think? Is this the start of a new era for Verstappen, or just a glimpse of a talent with no ceiling? Drop your thoughts in the comments, smash that like button, and subscribe for more F1 and motorsport drama. Let's unpack this together.